Hey, what's going on, guys? We're putting a back video. Today we're on Cafe MC with another cannon, and today we have a 255 3-second quick sprint. And in this video I will be explaining kind of how you use it, why you use it, how to make your own, and all that fancy stuff. So as I said, this is a 255 stacker 3-second quick sprint, and kind of the premise behind a quick sprint is, well, it is fast to print. So this cannon can shoot, you can start printing it and shoot in about 3.5 minutes. This has been tested on Austin PvP, the server that I'm currently admin on, with their printer mode. And yeah, so obviously it is a pretty fast cannon. You can use it mainly for side counters. So you know you usually have in-buffer counters, which I have a video on that as well, which will be in the description. This is for side counters, so you can set this up really quickly and pretty much breach a cannon box with one of these if your buffer counters don't work. You also can, if you really want to, quick print in a cannon to actually raid a base. So if someone checks their buffers a lot, you can use this and print it in super quickly, and you can start shooting. This cannon can shoot about 60 chunks, so it is pretty efficient and pretty nice off. Total dispensers in this cannon is about, I think, around 405 dispensers, somewhere around there. So really not that many dispensers, and you'll kind of see we're missing some things such as, I don't know, let's say a hammer? But we'll be kind of explaining what is going on there and all that fancy stuff. So first off, we're just going to fire the cannon, and you guys will see it go off. So everything goes off in a very fancy manner, like so. You see everything ticking off. You come to the wall. It is obviously a 1 rev because, well, if you want the distance, you gotta be 1 rev. You can see here it is working just fine on all these walls. So if we go back to the cannon, you'll see kind of what's going on here. You can see that this is the power and the hammer. So you can see, like so, you have power, hammer right there. So it kind of double ticks off both sides, and is using XYZ's kind of concept of a power slash hammer, and I'll have a link in the description for that video as well on his channel. So it is pretty fancy, but obviously down here you can see everything gets separated by the pistons right here. So you can see you have that little extension of like a half second. That's when the actual TNT gets boosted. So you can kind of see it right there, like so. And you have this whole contraption here, which is very, very nice in my opinion. I believe this is the only kind of version of it. It is a very efficient way to do this in my opinion. But there are multiple ways you can do this kind of setup, but I just personally like this way. So we're going to stop the cannon real quick. So as you can see here as well, it is also an efficient nuke, and you can kind of see it only nukes down to what is absolutely necessary. So if you look on F3, you can see that we're just about at Y200-ish, Y205, and you can see that it only nukes down to, well, Y205-ish. So it only nukes down to what is absolutely necessary, and it's only like that because then you can save space and you can save TNT. And you can save, well, a lot of things. So we're going to kind of start breaking down the cannon and kind of what is happening in the cannon, because there is a good amount going on at one time. You know, kind of see like the random blocks here and there, just like, why are they there? So we're going to be going over that right now. So as you saw before, we have the power slash hammer combo. You can see here everything drops down, and this is also the efficient nuke hammer right here. But everything drops down to right here and gets boosted right here. So these boosters double pulse like so, and it'll go off twice, effectively while doing 2 boosts. So essentially you'll have your entire power drop down, the 2 separate ticks drop down into here. Everything will drop, line up here, and then you'll have this extend out, separating out your hammer from your power. And when this is extended for those like 3 ticks, the power will get boosted over to here, hitting this block, which will actually be extended. So it'll be extended here, and this booster also double pulses, so that'll go off then, putting it in its power spot. And then for the hammer, when the hammer gets boosted off, this is retracted, so then it'll land in this spot right here, and then this next booster will go off, hit here, and hit the stair. So obviously that is kind of a lot to take in, but also during that, obviously the one-shot saying goes out, but it is kind of a lot, so we'll do one little fire here, and you'll kind of see what happens. So if we come off and fire, you'll see, boom, there's the efficient nuke like so. And you can kind of see it right there. You saw the power hits that block, it gets boosted here, and then the hammer hits the block right there. So you kind of see it again. Boosted, hammer, just like so. So it works very, very well. All you gotta do is get the timings done correctly and you'll be in the clear. So obviously, like I said, everything has to be double pulse, so we kind of have to use a little setup here. You can see right here, this is where the double pulse actually happens. So 1 pulse, 2 pulse. If you fire it, you kind of see what happens here. So you have 1 pulse, 2nd pulse, and since only a certain area of the cannon actually gets double pulsed, we have to selectively kind of maneuver around it. So right up here, you can see we have this little extended pulse here. You can see also right here, it's a pulse extender. So pretty much what this does right here, you'll see this multiple times throughout the entire cannon, is that this essentially cancels out the actual double pulse. So you can see what happens here. So you see, it effectively cancels out the double pulse, which is kind of what we need to do for certain parts of it, because what will happen here, as you can see, we have your this is the first little area. So you can see you have, this is, I believe, the sand, and then this is the hammer. Yep. So you can see this will go off once right here, and then these line this line of repeaters will go off again, and this is the hammer, and then this is obviously the slab bus kind of going off there as well. So yeah, that's kind of how it works. It has to cancel it out, and then you have this extended here. So the next area is going to be the sand comp, and there's a lot going on in the sand comp. There's a lot going on. So essentially what you'll kind of see is, obviously, it's a carpet comp. That is pretty standard for any cannon at all nowadays. And there's you got a lot. You have your hammer in here, your 1-revs in here, your slab bus is in here, and obviously your sand comp is also in here. So everything is in your sand comp. So you'll kind of see everything bridges off this one line of redstone and this kind of extender. So this little area serves as 2 purposes. So obviously you have your first little line of redstone here, and that essentially just, well, triggers off all the timings for the actual TNT to go off and to be correct. You have this second one here that acts as a line of redstone for your efficient nuke as well. So that obviously is extended there, but it also acts as a pulse extender, so your sand comp will, you know, keep going. So as you saw there, everything is off of that. You'll have your infinite boosters bracket off of here, come over here, and then you'll see kind of what happens here. So it is obviously stair alignment, so you're going to need to game tick your you know, boosters. So you have your infinite boosters right here, coming out to here, up, 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 booster, right, so you're game ticking it right here. So everything, well, nearly everything is based off of your timings for this. So right here you can see, obviously, you have your redstone pulse or tick right here, and it goes right off from it, and you can see you have your 1-rev right here, and then you have your actual sand timings right here. So everything is based off of the booster. And also, since your 1-rev is game ticked on a 11 game ticks, that essentially makes it barrel stack, which also kind of makes it not easy to 1-rev patch, because you can, there's a lot of conspiracies out there that say you can actually 1-rev patch by placing a block above it, but with certain designs with your ratio of 1-rev, you can actually prevent that. So moving on, you can see right here you have your efficient nuke. So this is a very small nuke, obviously, but everything is obviously fitting into your sand comp. So you can see here, kind of, it'll go off like that, and it'll drop down into the actual carpet comp with it. So it is kind of dangerous if you don't do it correctly, but it's obviously set up correctly in this version, so you shouldn't really be, you know, concerned about it blowing up inside your cannon. And then obviously all of that gets boosted over here into your little booster, shots up here and over there, and yeah. So that's pretty much the basic areas of the cannon, and now we're going to kind of explain what makes it an actual quick print. So like I said, the basic premise behind a quick print is that you can obviously print it quickly. So you'll kind of notice some odd things about this cannon, such as, why are these repeaters all extended out, and why are they not, like, I don't know, like that? Why not full ticket? Well, essentially, you can print these in faster and get these done faster if they are all extended out instead of going, you know, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Because you can just pretty much print all of it. You don't have to worry about coming back and doing timings. Obviously, there are some spots you need to do timings for, but it's not that many spots as well at all. So you'll notice that everywhere throughout the cannon, where it's just all repeaters are on one, if possible, like all on one, all on one, all on one, like it's everywhere throughout the cannon. Another theme is obviously there's no platform and very limited blocks in this cannon. If a block is not needed, a block will not be there. So essentially you can kind of see we're missing, you know, a lot of areas. Like, why isn't there a little back area right here? Like, well, why not? Well, I mean, that's also to make it smaller, but it's not needed. So if it's not needed, it's not going to be there. Also notice that there's blocks that you might think, oh, they're not needed. Well, they kind of are. Like right here, why are these blocks here? There's no need for those blocks. Well, they serve kind of a different purpose. The purpose for these blocks is to actually be able to print it faster. So, you know, you'll be printing right here, and obviously what's going to happen is when you're printing, these blocks will also get placed, and then as you're going down this line, or if you start over here for some reason, these blocks will get placed up here, and then you'll print this bottom area and this top area, effectively getting 2 in 1. You notice that in every single spot there are no floating blocks at all. You know, this is connected right here, this is connected, you have these little connecting blocks right here. You have these blocks quite literally everywhere, you know, right here as well, connecting blocks. They're everywhere throughout the entire cannon, just to make it so it's faster to print. And pretty much last, but certainly not least, is how fast you can actually water this cannon. So if you follow this simple path, you'll get every single spot. There's maybe like, I think 8 spots to water, so it's really not that many. So you start over here in the sand comp, get your water bucket, you go 1 right there, come down here, 2, 3, go up here, 4, fly up, 5, right here, 6, go under, right here, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, there's 9 spots to water. And then you water the entire cannon. You do not need to water this area up here because there's no TNT actually exploding in that area, so there's no need to actually water that area. So then there you have a fully watered cannon with absolutely no issues. I can remove down here. These are the protection blocks. I can remove this, and everything will still work just fine. You have everything watered that you possibly need in this cannon. So now it shoots off, and you can see, obviously, the cannon's not exploding. The cannon works just fine without having every single area watered at all. So like I said, this is a very, very useful cannon if you're getting raided and you very quickly need a cannon to side counter. You can obviously just set this up and you are good to go. So yeah guys, like I said, there will be a download for this cannon. There'll be 2 separate downloads, one for specifically Ostia, and then one for like you can place your own sand blocks because they're different for every server. So yeah, I'm ready to pint, guys. I'll see you guys all in the next video. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. And yeah, see you guys all in the next video. Peace out.